What up?
We're back, dude.
We're back, officially back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did the AI companion just go on for you?
Says meeting's being recorded. It's also being transcribed for AI companion. Yo,
Great. Awesome.
awesome, hilarious.
Okay,
More of
sweet.
those great things. We should release
Yeah, I
uh
know.
those summaries for
For 13.1ers who are watching this right now.
definitely.
They're funny.
That's fun.
They're way funnier than the Apple ones because the Apple one just transcribes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what I say and you say, but the Zoom tries to like interpret.
I know, and it strangely gets a lot of it right, and then a lot of it's just weird.
Well, I also think even Zoom has a difficult time telling us apart.
Yeah.
So it'll say, I'm doing something with bassoon or something like that.
Right, right.
Even though we are on two separate screens, it's like either or here. Zoom still can't tell.
Right, right. Oh, I need to mention that too. Hold on.
Hold on, Chewie wants to leave. You want to get out
Okay.
of here? Go on. See you later. He survived all our trips. We were so scared he was going to die while we were in
Yeah,
Scotland.
dude. Still here.
Still kicking.
Aw. Chewy.
Healthy as a horse, and I mean it. He's real fat. He's real
I
big.
know he's got that bulbous stomach.
Okay. All right, I'm ready. Good warm up. A little bonus for the
Totally.
video watchers. What are you eating there?
Yep. Oh wait, no, no, no. This is I got I couldn't find an old iPad cord, so I got one for like $3 on
Oh, okay.
because I lost this one video from like 10 years ago, and I was seeing if it was on our old iPad.
It's got like a lightning cable or what?
No,
Even older than
the
that.
the big long one.
That
You
like,
know?
did it clip in? I can't
Yep.
remember.
Yep.
And then like if you drop that thing and it tears out,
Yep.
it's broken.
You're dead. It's broke.
Sweet. Okay, are you ready?
Sure am, dude.
Shram.
Okay. Yep. All right. I got GarageBand open. It's called TGS13 Ep1 Anthony Side.
Sweet. I've
Okay.
got grand reopening Steven side. We never have like a
There
they're
should be
completely
like
differently named.
a way to there's got to be a way to not only name those correctly, but like automate adding all that to GarageBand and line it up without doing anything.
Oh, well, AI could probably do it. Or Adam
Probably.
can.
Could figure something like that out. Adam rules.
Yep.
Oh, there's a
All right, I'm ready.
hold on. There's like a bug on my computer, like a tiny little gnat. Oh yeah, I need to talk about those gnats too. Okay, you ready?
We don't need to talk about nets.
Nope. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yep.
Here we go. Sorry. All right, one, two, three, click. Here we go. One, two, three, clap,
Clap. One, two, three, clap.
clap.
Ooh, that's nice.
Very
Hardly any
good.
delay at all.
Hmm.
What a relief. That delay during our during the 5K race guide was brutal.
Oh, that edit probably sucked,
It
dude.
did.
Sorry.
But that's right. Good app. Okay,
Yeah, oh,
I'm
totally
ready.
did.
You're listening to the Two Gomers podcast, a show about two regular guys in their 40s embracing midlife, chasing healthy aging, and inviting a nation along for the run. This is the premiere episode of season 13, the Two Gomers podcast grand reopening for July 4th, 2025, 28 weeks to the race.
Welcome, everybody, to episode one, the grand reopening of the Two Gomers podcast, season 13. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man, wait, 28 weeks to the race? What the heck does that mean, dude?
I haven't said that. It's probably not quite a decade.
Yeah.
but I haven't said that for years and years.
Yep.
At the opening of the podcast, what could
Yep.
it mean?
Mm.
That's what this episode is about. Our grand
Yeah.
reopening. Season 13, that's new too, right? We
Yep.
haven't had a season number for a probably since I think it's season 8
Mm.
is the last time we named or the numbered the season out loud.
Right. Like we called it that.
That was our uh sub 5 strive. No,
Oh
it wasn't.
no.
It was
Oh
it
no.
was wait, what was it? What did we call it? Oh, sub 5 before 40.
Sub
That was
five,
season 8.
sub five before 40, right? Oh
Yep.
no.
And then we thought this is just a quick little history. Then we
Yep.
thought we were like done with this
Yeah, we
feed.
thought, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, we were like done with that midlife crisis. You had
We were
already been through
focusing on
yours.
Perfect Movie. Remember
I
that?
was
We were
going
gonna
through mine.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And then we were like, let's do 20-minute eps on Loose 20 in 2020, season
Right. Right.
9.
Yep.
Started again. It pulled us back in.
Yep. Totally.
And then uh so here we are again, pulled us back in. There's
Yep.
some seasons in between. And now here we are on season 13. As
Mm.
far as we could count,
Yep.
and we did count. Thank you, Adam, our webmaster.
Yes. Thank you, Adam.
If you're listening now on Apple Podcasts, you will note that all of our episodes are now organized in seasons.
Mm.
Super easy to navigate. So a lot of new stuff. You are
Mhm.
about to find out, Nation. Hi, Gomer Nation. We haven't talked to you in a long time. Hello.
It's been, yeah, so it's been since January since we've had an actual Two Gomers episode, right?
Right. We kind of cheated with the 5K audio race guide. We
Right.
snuck into your DMs, slid
Yep.
right in there, slid out again.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been I think 5 months is kind of solidly where we have not recorded or
Mhm.
released episodes on this feed, on our main feed. And so you are about to find out a whole lot of things,
Mm.
Gomer Nation, about what has happened in the past 5 months as we've been on
Yep.
hiatus and sabbatical, and what is coming, what season 13 means, why we just said 28 weeks for the race. It felt good to say.
It did, and it sounded good, and it gave me hope, excitement, exhilaration, nerves.
Something about looking forward to something, a
Yep.
deadline. Ooh.
Yep. Right. We always say goals are where we're headed, habits are how we get there. So we've
Yep.
got a goal. We've actually
Mhm.
got multiple goals, but we're starting with a big one
Yeah.
to catapult us to a really big one, which will
Yes.
catapult us to 50, right?
We're looking at 50. I mean, I was just thinking when I read two regular guys in their 40s, I'm not
Yep.
going to be able to say that for too much longer.
3 years. So if you're a new listener,
Mm-hmm.
you will find all the organization of the podcast will be super helpful. You'll also find that season 1, wait,
Mm.
where is season 1? Where'd it go?
Okay, this is all, so we are going to talk about all that stuff. So many
Okay,
things
okay.
are happening right now.
Yep.
So here's in our opening, what I will normally say, here's another little teaser about what's going on. What I will normally say in the opening of the episode, I'll preview the episode. So you will start hearing next episode this. We're going to start with our opening segment that is now called Week in Review.
Mm-hmm.
So after the intro, we'll go right into Week in Review.
Yep.
That's different.
Yep.
Then we will go into the core where we take a deeper look at a way we're chasing health in midlife. That remains. The core remains.
Yep.
I was thinking about, should we rename it the midsection, which was such a funny name.
I know. It was so good. I like the core. It quotes
too.
that really dumb movie.
Oh yeah, I
you know.
forgot. That's the real reason you like it, because of that movie. Ugh. With Aaron Eckhart and that really skinny guy.
Yeah, that Rat. Isn't his name Rat in that movie?
I think so.
And they get
Mouse or Rat? I can't
Mouse.
remember.
Yeah, maybe it was Mouse. Yeah, great late 90s. No, early 2000s
Oh yeah.
tech.
Is there any movie that looks more early 2000s? We'll get to that in our
yeah.
airplane movies episode that we're recording right after this.
Yep.
Oh boy. I
Mm.
watched Air Force One last night. It's so good and so absolutely. I think that's 90s though, still, isn't it? Air
Yeah,
Force
because
One.
I think we were in high school, and I also rewatched Con Air.
Oh my gosh.
Mm,
What a movie.
I mean, dude, it's so good but bad. Just like
Oh
it's.
yeah. Sick. Okay. And we'll, of course, this will happen a lot too.
Hmm.
We'll think of a movie we watched and talk about that. After the core, we will end with what's giving us life this week. That remains.
Hmm.
And of course, something that has been a constant since season one, a ton of fun stuff along the way,
Hmm.
like very brief conversation about the core and Con Air.
Actually, dude, I have a real quick brief one,
Okay.
and then we're gonna preview more of this episode.
Yeah.
So you remember we talked last summer about Brat Summer?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Bratz. Everybody remembers Brat Summer from 2024. Yes.
Yep. And I was like, wait, what? What was that? And you were like, tried to explain it, and I was like, I missed it somehow. Um, dude, you're gonna laugh.
Uh-huh.
But dude, you know what I'm doing this summer?
What's that?
Shorts summer, dude.
Oh boy, short summer. Now,
Wearing shorts.
again, if people have been longtime listeners, you know our history with shorts. I would say, especially me, I'm anti-shorts.
Right. You're anti shorts for men over 40 or just in general? I can't remember. Or just
Wasn't
on
that a Gomer
planes?
season? No shorts after 40.
Yeah, I think it's like no white after Labor Day or whatever.
So exactly. So for me, I just it's a personal thing.
Yep.
Now then again, I do judge guys so when I see them.
Right.
I would never deign to tell women what to wear. They can wear whatever they want.
Yep.
But
Totally.
men, I'm like, there's places you can. Now, I have pretty strict rules about where,
Hmm.
especially movie theaters and airplanes. You cannot
Mm.
wear them in movie theaters or airplanes.
I'm with you on movie theaters, dude, because it's cold.
But airplanes, I have
Yeah.
just gotten touched by too many gams
Hairy ones.
for sure. And every time I do, I take a picture and send it to you and hack.
I know. um, but okay, so here's the thing. There's like I just noticed, dude, because I haven't worn shorts except for running, physical activity,
Of course, that doesn't count.
because you shamed me and everybody.
You're welcome.
And you know what? I was like, I don't care what the rules say.
I'm so glad to hear this. You
Um,
don't have to. Nobody needs to feel shame from me. Do what you want.
totally. But the sort of like the inciting incident is I was looking at my legs, which I'm Italian. I have a natural olive tone,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
and I was like, okay, no shame against, no shame, no shade. But I was
Wait,
like,
can I just ask, when
yeah,
you were looking at your legs, was it you were looking down at them or were you standing in front of the mirror looking at your legs?
looking down. I
Okay,
don't look
got
at
it.
my legs in the mirror that often or ever. I guess occasionally.
Do you
I
have a
don't know.
full length? You got a full
Yeah,
length
we
that's
have a
easily
full length.
accessible? Okay, gotcha.
Yep, we have one in our house, and it's in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls always walk in and check
Right.
themselves out. That's where they do dances. That's where
I,
they.
I remember this. It was the same thing for us. We had one full length in our room, and that was a lot of traffic to that
Yep.
mirror. Yeah.
I also think, I think our full length mirror is a really flattering mirror. Like I
Ooh,
think
it
it's
must be like, what is it, concave or convex, where you're
yeah.
like, hmm,
Oh, totally.
I'm never getting rid of this.
Yeah. We look great. I'm like, oh, I put my suit on. I'm like, yeah. Actually, truth be told, I never put my suit on in our room because I never put any dress clothes on. Like we have a dog that has white hair. Sorry, this is getting already too long. But like all my dress clothes always stay at work.
Yes.
Like they go from the dry cleaner to work to the dry cleaner, never
So that
home.
they don't go home and get the white hair all over them
Right,
from your dog, Indy.
right. But if I'm putting on, jeans and a cool top, I check it out and I'm like, dang, I'm taller and thinner than I thought.
So you were looking at your legs, but with your eyes even and thinking,
Yeah, I
I
think I
can
was
let
sitting
these loose.
I think I was sitting out on the deck or something like that,
Uh-huh.
probably after a run or a walk,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, not only are my legs super white,
Mm.
like just pale, like
Yeah.
not my normal Italian. Like I look at my arms and they're totally different tone,
Right.
especially
Yep.
the thigh area. Uh, sorry if this is gross for somebody. I don't know. But anyways, but here's the other thing is I was like, they're also like totally almost hairless. And
Really?
it's just because of like, I wear like uh
Friction?
joggers. Yeah, it's friction from jeans, friction from, like my joggers that are a little bit more tapered leg.
Sure. Yep.
And I was like,
You've rubbed all that hair off. Look at what I've
totally.
done. What have I wrought?
This
Your legs are pale and hairless because of me.
yes, dude.
Shamed you into that.
So I told Aaron and the girls right then and there, I was like, yeah, I was like, this summer, it's shorts every day, all the time.
Good job.
And I'll report back. Nobody cares, but I'm going to report back. Not only do I feel cooler,
Yeah.
but we're going to see the results. Long
Long
limbs,
hair,
Lenore.
long hair, and olive skin.
Remember that's on The Firm? He's like those long tan legs.
Yes, I do. I remember that. Yep. That's
That's
gonna
what.
be you. Tom Cruise is gonna be lusting for you.
It
Or was it Gene Hackman that said
was
that?
Gene Hackman, but he
That's
was
right.
talking about he wanted to have them for
Oh, I see.
himself,
Okay.
not on the ladies.
Mm.
He wanted to have long tan legs.
I see. Well, that's one thing that happened during our sabbatical. Gene Hackman died. R.I.P.
Yep,
So, but
totally.
his ghost would be so proud of you and your olive long tan legs. Let me tell you this. I'm having this nerve pain,
Speaking of legs, yep,
and so guess what?
yep.
Short summer for Steven too.
No way, dude.
Out of
Okay.
necessity. I was
Yep.
also in Wisconsin, and it was record highs there last
Mhm.
weekend. And I showed up to a meeting with none other than Ryan Hack
Mhm.
with shorts on.
Wow.
So C Nation, things are changing, and it may be for the better. Now, when I
Mhm.
went on the plane, absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah. And same for movies. I'm with you.
No way.
I'm
There are
totally with
certain
you.
places, folks, you wear pants. All right. All that stuff that I just said that I'll normally say to preview the episode is not even happening this episode
Right.
because this is our grand reopening. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look back. We're going to start by looking back. We've been gone for 5 months, so we're going to spend some time catching you all up. You sent questions in. We're going to answer some of those. We're going to look back at what we have been doing and what's been going on since we left in January. Then we're going to look forward, something that
Mhm.
I think a lot of people want us to talk about on this grand reopening. You should open something new on a grand reopening. We're like Dave at the beginning of Dave.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Did he ride a little pig at the
Yeah, I
beginning
think
of that?
yeah, he's like, you will not believe the savings you'll get at this
Was it?
car. Wasn't it a
Oh,
car
it was a
store
car
or
lot. You're
car
right. He
lot?
was
Used
opening a
car
car
lot?
lot. Yep. So we're like Dave in Dave
Yep.
opening something up.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about what is next for us. What is next for the podcast? What can you expect in season 13? What does 28 weeks of the race mean? And then, as always, we're going to end with what's giving us life this week and tons of fun stuff along the way. Okay.
Sweet.
I think we should get started.
All right, let's do it. Sweet. All right, let's clap. Can I have my soda now?
You can have your soda now.
Yes. Okay, cool. Sorry.
No problem.
All right. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I was hoping you could look back for maybe about 30 minutes or so, give or take, at how the last 5, 6 months have been going, right?
Now you've got a tradition is that Anthony, when we get to the core, Anthony opens up. Don't take it out yet. I don't want
okay.
to see it. I want to guess what it is.
Okay.
Now Anthony always cracks something. You just said right before we started recording this segment, you said, "Can I open my soda now?"
Oh, that was a cheat. You're right.
So and you've got a
yep, a
koozie
hint.
on it, so I can't see
Oh, yep. It's
what it
from
is.
our friends at Uptown Pups.
Um, Uptown Pups. You
Yeah,
always go to animal pun based places. What was that other
totally.
one? I can't
Uh,
remember. But Uptown Pups is one of them.
we have the
Uh,
best little doghouse
the
in
best
Georgia.
little
That's where
dog
Andy
house in
goes.
Atlanta.
Yeah, we also discovered Rover. Is
Okay.
that what it was? It's
I don't
like
know.
Airbnb except for
Oh yeah.
dogs going
Mm-hmm.
to doggy daycare sort of thing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so we're gonna actually be trying that out in a couple days.
So I'm guessing it's not a La Croix that you just
Nope.
cracked because you said soda.
All right, and it's 11:30 a.m.
Oh,
11:34
right. It's
a.m.
3 hours later for you. So a soda makes sense. But
Yep.
it's not after the cutoff, which is noon for caffeine for you. Is that why you said it's 11:30?
Yep, that's yeah, exactly. That's why because we have another episode after this, so I'm having a bit of caffeine.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess that um it's a ice cold Coke with a picture of Santa on it. Is that
Oh,
right?
good guess. No, but I'm working on my health and wellness, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's your favorite. You should bring up the song.
Sweet. I don't have it at the ready, but maybe you can edit
Oh,
in.
I'll
He's
edit it in. Look, dude.
he's drinking a Diet Coke that says bro on the back. All
Yep,
sorts of prescient for this
yep,
episode. Good job.
yep.
Okay, we're gonna look back. We're gonna spend a little bit of time looking back. Um, we actually took a poll on what you, the listener, thank you for sticking with us, listeners.
Seriously.
Thank you for the excitement as we are reapproaching something new and coming back. I mean, we put that 5K audio race guide, and man, did our numbers skyrocket when we
Mm-hmm.
actually had something for people to listen to.
I
So people
know.
are out there um, longing for us to come back, and it was apparent in our poll. We asked what you wanted to hear, and we got a lot of really broad questions, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Mancy said, "Catch us up on what's going on." Anissa said, "Tell us about the time away." Frenchie said, "How was the hiatus?" And then Jessica N said, "I want to hear literally anything Gomer." I wonder, Jessica, if you put the literally in there just for me.
I'm sure, dude.
um, so as we've been thinking about this looking back stuff, we felt like if we just talk about how everything was, this part would go for like 4 hours.
Yep, totally. And probably drag on and on, honestly. I
Yeah.
think those are better in either little nuggets or
Mm-hmm.
spread out, like little bits of lembas bread in Gollum's hands.
Right.
Uh,
You don't want to eat it all. Or how many pieces did I think like Pippin and
yeah, he had
they ate like four of them at once. We're not going to do that for
right.
you.
Yep.
Um, so we decided to answer some more. The other thing is that lembas spread is going to be spread out. I think it might take us 6 months
Hmm.
on the podcast to talk about everything that happened in the past 6 months.
For sure. Honestly, a lot. Like I wrote down so many bullet points. I mean,
Of like actual things that happened.
yeah, I mean, just in the last 2 weeks, I almost
Yeah.
died in a car accident.
Right.
Totaled two cars. I'm here.
Got caught in a
Praise
police
God.
chase
Part of a
mation.
police chase. Yeah, totally. So, and we're like not even going to talk about
We're
that.
not going to talk about it. We are
Right.
going we're probably with something like that, we're probably going to do an entire episode once Anthony gets a hold of himself
Right.
and really sees, I mean, there's a lot to learn probably from almost dying in a
Yeah.
police chase, right?
Yep.
So we're going
Not
to
making
give
that up.
Anthony a little space on that so we can do an episode, a core on that somehow. I mean, I went to Scotland and hiked 100 miles in 2 weeks.
Mm,
I've got
that's
a lot to
bucket
process about that.
list. Yeah, and actually, I just listened to the field recording that you did
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and absolutely loved it. And people should just go back and listen to that. Or if you're not a Patreon subscriber, definitely do that
Yep.
because you go deep,
Oh, yeah.
and it was
At some
awesome.
point on that, I'm like, I don't think I'm even going to release this. Now I re-listened and I thought it's fine. I can release it.
I
But
was actually wondering. I was like, I bet there are some that he hasn't released
No, I released all
And
those.
I want to hear more.
So you will, Nation, hear more about that, but not on this episode,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Like, um, what other things on your list? I'm just curious. If do you have
Okay.
other things on your
Well,
list?
um, also on that field recording, we talked about molehills.
Mm.
So we got to talk about the dermatologist visit I had. That was epic.
Okay.
Who's excited about that?
I've been to the acupuncturist. I've gotten electrode
Yeah.
dry needling for this nerve pain stuff. We're not going to
Mm-hmm.
talk much about that. Jessica and I celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Mm. Yep.
That feels kind of big. Not going to
That's
talk much about
massive.
it.
Yep. But whatever. I mean, we had so much travel
Mm-hmm.
this
Yep.
whole time. We talked about that in on the Patreon
Yeah.
about our New York excursions, about
Mm-hmm.
Flagstaff, about going to the Grand Canyon.
A whole app
Um,
on for patrons on the Patreon for hearing all about that. Yep.
yep, totally.
Not going to talk about it much.
Right? Don't have time.
We always do this too. We talk about what we're not going to talk
I
about.
know. Well, but we're gonna get there, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
I really
yep.
think it will take months. I think throughout the rest of this year we're going to be referring back to the time off, right?
Yeah, well, that's part of rest
Mm-hmm.
is then you come back and you're like like that thing where I can't remember which author said it takes time for your soul and your body to get back to the same speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
when you and I think that's what you've been doing on your sabbatical.
Right.
I haven't been sabbaticaling, obviously. I've been working, although taking the break from the podcast, even as you've all heard in the last 23 minutes or so, there's just a lot of downloading Stephen and I have to do with each other.
Right.
Um, and just a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that have happened that our bodies and our souls
Mm-hmm.
and even our brotherhood and friendship are
Yep.
finally coming to get in sync. And once that happens, like I feel like stuff starts to settle
Mm.
and then you start to see more of what you've been going through. And then
Yep.
you kind of take stock. And then when you take stock, you're like, holy crap, there's all this stuff that
That's
we
true. Yes.
that
The
we've been
more you take
yeah,
stock, the more there is to process, right? And I
exactly.
do
Yep.
think there's some sort of interesting way we process on the podcast that
Definitely.
I've been looking forward to.
Yep.
Maybe it's because when we get together, I don't have notes. Actually, sometimes I do.
Like, what are we going to talk about while we hang out? Actually, there were some agenda items. Definitely. When we talk about, I have later, we're going to talk about, there was a question about keep, stop, start, or stop, keep,
Oh yeah.
start.
Yep.
Um, oh no, it wasn't that one. It was about our friendship. Yeah, yeah.
Oh right. Yep.
I'm gonna mention something there. I even got a scripture verse, dude. Oh, two of them actually.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic.
Hmm.
So we decided to do this by answering a couple more specific questions. Hopefully that will start answering some of these broader ones today
Yep.
and set us up to keep answering those as the season goes on. So, um, Scott, Eat the Frog Schneider, I think.
Yep.
Scott Bacon Man, Eat the Frog Schneider.
Yep.
Um, yeah, some really good specific questions, and so um, we're gonna answer some of what Scott asked. AJ asked the stop, keep, start question,
Yep.
and then Amy Becken asked did how did my sabbatical change our relationship, which I thought was such an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
But we're
Super
gonna
good.
start with we're gonna each how about this? We each answer the question Scott asked us first,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go stop, keep, start, and then we'll talk about our relationship.
Right.
DTR.
Oh boy.
I don't know if
Yeah.
we have time for a DTR here.
No, we should have recorded that multiple hour, multiple day DTR we had like a month ago.
Hmm. And I
Yeah.
did have notes for that conversation.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So Scott asked me, can I start?
So I
Scott
was just
asked me,
thinking, like, top on the notes is like, what's your freaking problem?
oh no. Point one, what's your problem? There's no way we could have recorded that conversation. Okay.
No way.
Scott asked me, how did your sabbatical impact your approach to work and life outside of work?
Mm.
What a great question, Scott.
Jeez.
I mean, so here's broadly because my sabbatical is part of my job, actually. I still got paid. It's just something that the ministry that I work with offers. Every 7 years we get 6 months off. Not off,
Incredible.
sabbaticaling, right?
Right.
And I will tell you that this works because
Mm,
what I realized about work is that work is really good.
yeah.
And I think that I went into sabbatical with a significant amount of burnout. Um, and what burnout does to me, so burnout, the way I think of it is like it's beyond exhaustion. I know what to do with exhaustion. Sleep more.
Yep.
I know what to do with yeah, with being tired, right? It's beyond that. It's I know what to do with being overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just what I do is I just kind of notch things back to just being whelmed. Not overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
whelmed, right? That's fine.
Is that a word?
I don't know. I think so. Whelmed is just
Overwhelmed?
like full.
Sure, sure, sure. Yep.
Overwhelmed is too full, right?
Yep.
So sometimes people ask me how I'm doing and I'll say I'm whelmed.
I've
It's a
never
great
heard that, but
conversation
I
starter.
like it.
Yeah. Um
Huh.
going into sabbatical, I was not only exhausted, not only overwhelmed, I was burned out. That felt like a spiritual thing for me, right?
Definitely. Yep.
Um, and when I'm burned out, what it makes me think is I want to stop doing whatever I'm doing forever.
Right. Right.
And so uh, the sabbatical, in short, helped me want to work again.
Okay.
And there was this
Wow.
moment about halfway through my sabbatical where I really felt like God was encouraging me to count the benefits of my job.
Wow.
And I wrote, speaking of lists, I wrote like 4 pages, bulleted list of the benefits of my job.
Dang.
And
Because, yeah, sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No, because I was going to say there were times during your sabbatical. Well, there were times during your sabbatical, like months where we didn't actually even talk. Not months, but like maybe a month or
weeks,
something.
weeks and
Weeks.
weeks. Yeah. Hmm.
Yep. There were times where you were like, "Do I want to do something else?" Is that okay to say that?
Oh, that's fine. Yes.
Like you were even entertaining stuff,
Oh, yeah. I was
right?
thinking about going back to school. I was thinking
Yep.
about getting my master's in library science, actually doing something with my English major, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Um, all sorts of things. And honestly, that was really freeing for me to think about.
Yep.
But then I felt like I've never actually given my testimony,
Mm-hmm.
but just like when I came back to Jesus in college,
Yeah.
I felt like I need to consider what I'm already doing
Hmm.
and not just other options.
Yeah.
And so what what it allowed me to do was to see that my job allows me to live into my top love language, which is gift giving and generosity. We've talked about that before.
Yep.
It basically hits all 10 of my top strengths on StrengthsFinder. My Enneagram 7 really thrives in this job. It's even a
Yep.
good personality fit.
Uh-huh.
And then I was thinking about like, where else can I work where I could get a 6 month sabbatical every 7 years? I mean, I have so much autonomy in my job.
Right.
There's so much entrepreneurship baked in.
Yep.
Uh, I thinking about starting over
Mm.
felt like I would lose all that.
Hmm.
And I really do love my job. And so the sabbatical worked. It was so
Wow.
awesome.
Dude, that's
Um,
like incredible.
yeah, so there are things that I don't like about the job, but it was awesome to realize the benefits and how powerful they are. And then so work is good is the first thing. And then the other thing was that I need limits and that limits are good. And part of my burnout was I still am not good at I'm good at boundaries, but I'm not good at limits. I don't know if that makes sense, and I'm still working through that.
Sure.
Um, and so there's this moment. I'll just briefly tell this story. I was on a long walk, and I was listening. Pray As You Go actually has this like guided walk you can do.
Hmm. Oh,
That's
I
not
haven't
the
done that.
daily thing.
Cool.
It's a half an hour long, and what they do is they just invite you to look around and smell what you're smelling and sense what you're sensing and see if God has anything for you.
Mm.
And to not doubt yourself when you are drawn to something. So I'm on this walk and I see this sign and it says speed limit 30. I was
Uh-huh.
like, that's so dumb. I don't want
Yeah.
to see like a street sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to see like a giant tree or something. But I kept seeing the sign, more of that sign. And I just felt like God was saying, you need to limit yourself.
Mm.
I'm not quite sure what that means yet, but I feel like I need to work and live generously and embrace the limits that I
Mm.
have as an older person, 47. I know that's not old, but as an aging middle-aged person, I
Yep.
just can't do and I don't like the same things I could and did when I was 22.
Hmm.
And that's okay. And so I'm re-entering my job trying to figure out what is this in the limits. So work is good and I need limits are the two things that I thought were good answers to Scott's question.
Dang. That the limit one, that's in Scazzaro, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Embracing God's gift of limits.
Yep. And
One of
we
his
were talking about
principles.
some of that stuff coming into the sabbatical with mountain climbing and all those things, goal setting,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that it really cemented in me life and work. It's good to I'm going to really flourish as I avoid burnout
Yep.
by putting some really healthy and happy and joyful limits on my life and my work.
Mm. That I think the idea of so it's like a speed limit. You're
Mm-hmm.
so you were saying, oh, what I'm looking at a sign, that's weird.
Yeah.
Or were you thinking of a speed limit as being something that like, no, I want to go faster?
I think it was probably both of those things. Um, then this car drives by me and probably was going 60.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you moron.
Mm.
You can kill yourself. You could have killed me,
Yep.
right? You've got somewhere to go fast and you're not thinking about anybody,
See, that's really friggin'
right?
interesting, dude. The idea that okay, so that somebody going over the speed limit
Yeah.
actually can hurt other people. Like there's
Oh,
collateral
yeah.
damage outside of just yourself, but
Uh-huh.
you're damaging other people or potentially damaging other people.
100%. I was so scared by that person and so
Mm.
mad at them.
Uh-huh.
And then I was just like, yep, I'm supposed to pay attention to this sign. And it was this incredibly like rich spiritual moment looking at a street sign.
Yeah, dude. Dude, that's amazing. Like I actually remember in one of the classes that I took, and then
Hmm.
obviously I didn't, there was no way I could possibly finish that when I
Mm.
did the
Some of your
DTS.
seminary. Yeah.
Yep. And one of the, we were talking about something like this,
Mm.
and we were talking about speed limits aren't on the highway to, you know, essentially be oppressive.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to go faster than that. And don't tell me how fast to go.
Yep.
They're there to keep you safe, and they're there to
I
keep
felt
other
that
people safe.
so strongly in that moment.
Mm,
And I mean, I don't want to over spiritualize, but I felt like that speeder
yep.
was also something I was supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So I want to be healthy in my work. I want to mature, right? I want
Mm,
to give the gifts that I have. And I want to do that by structuring. And of course, this works for me because I'm a structure person, structuring my life
yep.
and really being careful coming back not to speed.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I do, I endanger myself and people around me.
Mm. That's a dude. That's a totem right there.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
speeder.
That is, it's just so I can see it. Like probably not as clear as that guy that ran into you head on, but
Man.
you
Yep.
know there are images that just stick with you. That's my point.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a time where I was out on a walk in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Hmm.
It's the mountains about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. And yep, similar thing, dude, where this blue Ford F-150 was,
Mm.
yeah, going these winding roads. and I was on the side of the road, and I swear inches. I could
Mm-hmm.
feel like the suction
Oh yeah,
of,
yep. You
like
don't
of
feel the
him.
breeze, you feel it sucking you toward it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it felt like suction
Mm-hmm.
totally. And
Hmm.
I was like taken aback
Yeah.
by that idea. So that dude, is that the first totem of this season other than our legs?
Yeah, our legs and that speeding guy. There's probably something about that
Yeah.
suction there too. I don't know. But let's
Hmm.
let's
Yep.
go to Scott's question for
Nice.
you, which was what did you fill your extra time with when you didn't have a recording schedule and pod planning to do? Any new
Hmm.
hobbies or activities? He asked you.
Right. So I wrote down, I was contemplating this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Nature abhors a vacuum, right?
Yes. Yep.
And it's like if you open up a space, it just goes like
Mm-hmm.
bloop. Like
That
think about,
suction again.
yeah, that suction. Yeah, there's suction again. It
Yep.
it sucks. What's a time suck? That's what they call Instagram, right?
Oh yeah.
It
Yep.
um
So you're saying where there was space, it got filled pretty quickly.
no, that was like the first thought that came to my mind
Okay.
was like, what do you do with that extra time? Nature
Mm-hmm.
abhors a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when you take something away that you do regularly for 6 months, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
like thinking about the future, and you're like, oh wait, you start to fill those things, and you're like, oh wait, that's what I do on Thursdays from
Mm.
1:30 to 4:30
Yeah.
or thereabouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did put some teaching in there.
Okay. Yep.
Um, Also though, oh, I hate to say this. We'll work through this.
Okay.
Coming back from my dress rehearsal, which is Thursday mornings, and then having the afternoon free
Uh-huh.
that was pretty awesome.
Oh, absolutely no doubt. Not having something to edit kind of always
Not
hanging over your head.
Yeah, no
Pretty awesome.
edits, no like no rundowns, no
Yeah.
thoughts, no so kind of like letting go, like actually that's yeah, like letting go of something that is on your, for lack of a better term, on our burden audit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the right way to put it, although because you and I were talking about that at the beginning of the year. Aaron and I have just, this is part of our vernacular now,
Yeah.
is when Aaron is stressed or I'm stressed, I'm like, tell me what's your burden audit right now? Like, what's your
Mm-hmm.
burden load?
So like take stock of what is actually weighing me down right now,
Yeah,
right? Yep.
with the picture of, again, like we said, you can look on your computer what programs are using a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
And so Aaron will be like, well, I'd say like 40% is thinking about work, stress
Mm-hmm.
about work,
Yeah.
and then this and that. I mean, I'm not gonna tell all the ones that she would say.
What
Right?
percentage would you say the podcast burden
Yeah,
was? I mean, it's not insignificant.
it's not insignificant. Is burden the right word?
No,
Is that
it's fine. I
that
get
has
it.
an Is there a
I
better
think
word?
that
Because that has a
po-
negative connotation.
it does, but I think it's kind of accurate, honestly, because we had not taken a break from the podcast for 5 years. We used to take breaks all the time. I
Yep.
remembered that when Adam and I were organizing the seasons, right?
Yep.
Like there were months, sometimes a year,
Mm-hmm.
when we wouldn't record.
Yep.
And since the pandemic, no break.
Yep.
And so this hiatus was good for us because I think it was becoming a burden.
Sure. I get
We
it.
love you, nation. You're not the burden. It's just, it's
Oh,
a lot of work.
well, okay. Let's think about other burdens that are in your life. Like, there's got to be a better word for this that we're not thinking of. But you like on our audit of where our energy is going, our
Yes.
load that we're carrying,
There
right,
you go. Yep.
is being parents,
Mm-hmm.
our jobs,
Mm-hmm.
our marriage, keeping
Yep.
the house clean, our
Yep.
mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, our emotional health, right?
I was
Like,
just gonna say there's intangibles like how we feel,
yeah, you
right?
know what
Like that can take a
yeah.
lot of energy. Disappointment takes so much energy. Discouragement takes so much energy. Yeah.
Well, okay. like maybe a month ago, just on my super long list of things that happened,
Uh-huh.
I no, like 6 weeks ago, I got this bug bite, dude, in the middle of my forehead. It's like a
You know
gnat.
what? You took a selfie of yourself and I saw it.
That's
On
right.
it was during the 5K. The
You're
the
right.
uh the Memorial Day 5K and you took that picture and I was like, "Did you fall down?" That's what I thought.
Oh, dude, I got so many of those questions at work. It was terrible. And also, we
Sorry.
video our concerts and get close-ups and stuff. But I got this bug bite, okay,
Yeah.
and dude, it's swelled up. I don't. I have pictures that I could send you. And
Yeah.
I actually had one of my students that had stayed with us overnight. His dad is a dermatologist in Boston,
Okay.
and so he was like sending him pictures of my forehead. But I woke up one morning and it had like swelled up
Yeah.
like a massive swelling on my
Yep.
forehead was huge,
Mm-hmm.
and it was super scary. And I was like, it's a tumor.
It's not a
I
tumor.
was like, well, if it's a tumor, there's no way it could pass through my skull that fast, like
No,
overnight.
no. But you're
Um,
Anthony, so you think it's a tumor.
oh, totally. And dude, I seriously had about a 10-second panic.
Sure.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What the bleep is this?
Uh-huh.
And I called a friend because it was 7:30 a.m., so it would have been 4:30 where you are.
Okay.
And I was like, "Do you have 5 minutes? Because I'm like panicking about this stupid thing."
It's so weird how the small things like that can get on the burden audit. Like
Well,
that
no, no.
that
So
weren't there the day before.
yeah, well, here was the word that he had that was so good. Was
Uh-huh.
he was like, your burden level or your load level
Uh-huh.
is so high
Mm-hmm.
that this one thing
Oh yeah.
pushed you over the edge.
Yeah.
Um,
Huh.
and don't panic because you're panicking.
Okay. Yep.
And also, then maybe we should discuss the amount of like your load versus your limit.
Yeah.
That a bug bite like pushed you over the edge. You know what I mean?
I felt like when I was dealing with a lot of the sadness about the boys, which I also was able to
Mm,
process empty nesting, right?
yep.
Any bug bite, any like physically, it was especially physically. Any sore shoulder,
Right.
the whole nerve thing, it did exactly what you're talking about. I was like, I,
Yep.
I can manage, I can manage, I can manage. Uh-oh. Bug bite.
I know.
It's the straw that broke the camel's back, right? That
Yep.
and it's good. I think that word is great because you have to pay attention to why something like that can push you over the edge.
Yep. And maybe
Wow.
could we somehow live post sabbatical? Because
Hmm.
there were many weeks, dude, where Aaron and I tried, and
Hmm.
I guess trying is a weird word for this, but we tried to embrace a little bit of a sabbatical, like kind of with you guys.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. Yeah.
there were weeks, there were days,
Hmm.
there were even hours where I was like, okay, we're on sabbatical with Steven and Jessica, like
Mostly
E.T. Elliott.
Thursdays when you didn't have to record,
Yeah, mostly
probably.
Thursday afternoons when I just had some me time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, back to Scott's question.
Hmm.
I didn't really have any new hobbies or activities. But yeah, I also just one last thing is I have started teaching before my Thursday night concert, and I
Oh.
don't think I would have done that
Mm.
if we hadn't done this. So I'm teaching. It's just at 5:30.
Right.
Wait, yeah, no, sorry, 6 to 7.
Okay.
Um,
That's like right before your rehearsal, right? Or your
right before,
concert.
yeah, yeah, I have a room reserved there. It's really good for my student, like timing wise, to
Okay.
do that. Anyways, it's actually been really cool. We started that in January. I'll still be able to do that with the podcast, but I
Yeah.
think had I not had that time, I wouldn't have kind of discovered this little nugget of time where I could kind of like put something together
Mm.
instead of adding it to a spot
Hmm.
where I need to not be working or
It's attached
so
to something you're already doing.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's sweet. Found time. We're gonna do an
Oh
episode on
yeah,
that coming up too.
found time, dude.
Um, should we do it stop, keep, start each? Do
Sure.
that real quick.
Yep.
So this is from AJ. We've talked about stop, keep, start before on New Year's,
Yep.
right? I think that was probably before we went full on with one words.
Yep.
Um, but AJ was asking any things you stopped doing, kept doing, or started
Mm. Yep.
while we were away. This was so fun to think through.
Totally.
So
Oh
thanks,
yeah.
AJ, for this really specific question. Can I go first? Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's what I stopped. I stopped putting so much pressure on making every event in my life significant.
This, yeah, we talk about the internal monologue with the girls all the time. It's like, and then we went there and did that.
And it
You know?
was the best thing. So
Yeah.
I did talk a little bit about this on the field recording when I was in Scotland. Like I
Yeah.
paid so much money for this. I've got 8 days. It better be good. And it
Yeah.
was good.
Right.
But I had to release that even broader, the sabbatical in general. Like I have 6 months. Just how how incredible this gift is. I better figure everything in my life out.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in New York together, I was like, this better be the perfect trip. Anthony comes out, better be the perfect time together, right?
Right.
Like,
Right. Get
and I think about
ramen
halfway,
and burgers.
right, which we did do,
Right.
and that was significant. Um, I think I'm learning that my life is still long
Mm.
and I have time, and I didn't have to figure everything out in these 6 months. And so about halfway through, I just stopped putting the pressure on. I was like,
Nice.
July 7th, when I come back from sabbatical, I can still have epiphanies. I
Yep.
can still have tons of fun.
Yep.
I can still travel. Um, I think kind of connected that is I have been kind of removing myself from the need to be significant at all.
Mm.
And so this is part of it.
Wow.
I can be I can lead a quiet life, and that's
Mm.
okay.
Yep.
Um, the thing I kept doing, and I teased this a little bit on one of our episodes, is I kept writing. Like
Yeah.
I had this dormant book, and the nation will be excited to hear about what it is. It's called Runner's Block,
Mm-hmm.
and it's based on the podcast.
Yep.
And I had stopped doing that, and the sabbatical was a way for me to keep doing it, and I'm almost done with it, the first draft. I've got a chapter left. So I picked the top 10. I like it. I feel like I've actually been really connected with you, Anthony, through this whole thing because I've listened to so many of our episodes
Wow.
writing this book. And
Yep.
so Runner's Block, colon, let's see if I can remember the subtitle. Facing the 10 excuses that keep you on the couch. That's what it's called.
Dang.
And it's all podcast based. There's so much Anthony stuff in it. There's
Yes.
listener stories. And so I kept doing that. I'm so happy that I actually did it. It feels so good to create something, bro.
That's great. I can't wait to see it.
And the thing that I started, get ready for this. I started lifting weights.
Mm.
So
Nice.
this was something Jessica and I started. I don't think she'll be upset with me saying this. She's going through perimenopause, and so her relationship with fitness has changed. Running, just for women with menopause and perimenopause, long runs and uh what's that kind of exercise called? I can't think what it's called right now. Just
Aerobic
like
or
yeah, like it doesn't work like it used to. And so I gave her these adjustable dumbbells for her birthday, like a couple
nice.
days after you left. And we've been pumping iron, bro.
Nice.
Pumping iron, getting our pump on, watching these videos on YouTube videos where we just
You
lift
guys are
weights.
total video people, dude.
We
Like you've
love exercise videos.
yeah, I love that.
Um, and it has felt so good and it's been so fun.
Cool.
So, uh, lifting weights, that's what we started. What about you? Stop, keep, start.
All right. I just wrote stop. Like I'm on my continued journey to stop striving, stop proving.
Mm,
Uh, really trying to like embrace um that I'm already loved,
mm-hmm.
already accepted,
Yeah.
already delighted in, already enjoyed, all by God,
Mm,
by Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
by the girls.
By so
Um,
many people, bro.
yeah, and like, and so just talked a million times about how as a performer, you walk on stage needy.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking for myself, not speaking for anybody else, but you want to prove and strive and all that. And I've had unbelievable experiences over the last 6 months
Mm.
to not only do amazing things, but to
Yeah.
practice doing them knowing that as I go out there, I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah. Amazing, bro.
And I mean, like, so we're now 6 years from when at this moment I was at the absolute bottom
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and of my um midlife crisis, and like we were in our house, but I don't even know how I made it through that. That's a whole other thing. But so what a miracle to stand in. Like I texted you
Mm-hmm.
after Beethoven 4, which was one of the pieces that really gave me a lot of panic because it's
Yes.
really hard and scary and exposed.
Yep.
I texted a picture. They put a picture on Instagram of me standing after my Beethoven 4 solo,
Right.
and I was like so free that whole week
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, stop striving, stop proving, stop being needy. The
Yeah.
stop sounds negative, but
No, no, no.
that's
You
part of the
did. You
question.
did. Yep. You did
And I
stop.
was like, I'm literally standing in a miracle right here.
Oh yeah.
So
Listener,
fun.
you don't whatever whatever you think, it's 10 times as miraculous as you're thinking right now. Right? It was
For real.
amazing. Beautiful.
S- Um, keep um keep doing honestly working hard
Mm-hmm.
and being excellent.
Mm.
Uh, like I've been really digging into the idea of what we do at our work is serve others.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been trying to think like how as a performer do you serve when what you're doing is you're asking people to look at you?
Yeah.
How do you love? How do you give your life away? And
Mm-hmm.
most of it is relational,
Oh yeah.
and most of it is being, which, dude, preview potential word I'm thinking of for 2026 is
Mm.
interruptible.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Like I'm always in a zone and like in a flow and in like I got to do one, two, three before,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying more and more to like when I'm at work be interruptible.
Mm-hmm. Care more about the people than the job even.
Yeah, but does that make sense? Like, I gotta warm up.
Yes.
I gotta get my reads working. I got better. And it's like, and then somebody comes
Listen,
to me like,
who are you
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
to? Of course it makes sense.
Okay.
I've got
Yeah, it's like,
structure and all sorts of steps.
well, so, but I don't know if that resonates at all.
I'm sure.
And then start, dude, I've been innovating like crazy with reads. I actually, s- there's no bassoon players probably that listen to this podcast, but I've started gouging my reeds. I've started going back to tube cane, which means a heck of a lot more work, but actually it's really not. I thought it was more than it is.
Okay.
So like, dude, like, look,
He's showing it to me, Nation.
I've got tube cane right here. Like this is a bassoon reed.
Wow. It's just a big
So
like cylinder of
it's bamboo,
cane,
right? It grows out of the
bamboo.
ground like
Yeah.
8, 10 feet tall, and
Yep.
they cut it in these like 120 to 140 millimeter sections, and then you process it. It's so fun.
Wow.
Uh, Let me say a couple more, dude. My favorite thing of 2026 so far, probably, other than the checklist,
2025.
25, sorry,
Yeah,
other
you
than the
said.
checklist manifesto
Uh-huh.
by what is that, Atul Gawande,
Yep.
um, revolutionizing our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Great
realize,
book.
oh yeah, how many checklists I need to keep my life
We
organized.
may do that as the first Gomer Book Club book,
Okay, I love that.
I think.
Um, I love that. I embraced and started using one of Aaron's favorite things in the world, which is post-it notes.
Okay.
And like I am like a post-it note fanatic now, dude.
Here we go.
And it has Dude, it's the best. It for me is like your habit journal is for you.
Okay, it works.
It works. Yeah, like you gotta find the thing that works. And look, check these ones out that I got, dude. Are you ready?
Yeah, they're cute. What's it say? Oh, it's a little frog. To-do list with a little frog on top.
Yep.
Post it.
Eat the
Sweet.
frog, and it's
Perfect.
sticky.
That's as on the nose as your bro Diet Coke.
Dude, if I'm one thing, it's on the nose. With my Italian nose. And then lastly, dude,
And legs.
and legs, is okay, we've got this really big window. Have I talked about this? I don't think I have. Really
In
big
your living
window
room.
in our bathroom.
Oh, in your bathroom. Okay.
It's yep.
Yeah,
And
bathroom window.
we face the forest and the side of our neighbor's house that has no windows.
Okay.
And I've never opened this. We've owned this house now for 6 years. I've
Uh-huh.
never opened the blinds on this window.
Okay.
And I think it was probably January-ish. I was like, what if I open that? Dude, it like opened the world to our bedroom. Because now like this window's open, you can see the trees,
Yeah,
you can
I
see
love it.
the weather, and dude, just open up the windows, man. I talked
Open
about
up
the
those
windows
windows.
controlling the heat last summer,
Yep.
opening up that blinds because nobody can see in. Now we close it, if you're gonna take a shower or something,
Yeah.
but still nobody could see, but you just feel a little better.
Open up those windows.
Yep.
Okay, we're almost at an hour. I think maybe we table the how did the sabbatical change our relationship question
Yeah,
because
that
I
might
think
take a while.
we would go a half an hour on that. So I
Yep.
think we will get to that, Amy. Don't worry. But I think we should probably move to looking forward. People are on the edge of their seat waiting to
Yep.
hear what's next. So should we head over there?
All right, let's do it. All right, let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
Hey, how is it going over there and what's going on? What's coming to happen next? Okay, great. Here we go. Looking forward. Here's the big news, nation. Season 13. Anthony and I have talked a lot about this, talked a lot about our relationship, talked a lot about the podcast. And I think one of the things that we have felt like we want to come back to as we reopen the Two Gomers podcast is we have missed, and I think our listeners have missed our challenges.
Yep.
So the big news is that moving forward for the foreseeable future may change.
Yep.
We want to reintegrate season long challenges into the podcast.
Great.
So, I mean, that was our bread and butter for 8 seasons.
Totally.
Even 9. I mean, the Lose 20 in 2020 was a season long challenge.
Yep.
Now, I think that broke us.
I think 2020 broke everybody, broke everything.
Right.
Maybe it's rebuilding, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we did do a challenge after that. We did the half marathon in Atlanta,
Oh yeah. Yep.
integrated into our runner's block. But really, um, this feels different, what we're wanting to do, where that
Yep.
we have season arcs again.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to say 28 weeks to the race
Yep.
or to whatever at the beginning of each episode. And so, uh, this season 13, is going to be called Two Gomers Run a Half Marathon.
Mm.
Now, I thought about putting the word older in there, two older Gomers
Two
run a half
middle-aged gomers.
marathon. It's just so that would be 2 gram,
Mm-hmm.
togram. Um, but let's just keep that in a parenthetical for now. We are going to run a half marathon again.
Mm-hmm.
We have done a back to the basics season
Yep.
where we ran a half marathon again, and then the aforementioned Atlanta half marathon.
Yep.
Um, the twist here is that we really want to integrate this into our midlife stuff.
Yep.
So like you heard before, the core is still going to be there. Um, and so we're going to do the, help me remember this. We're going to do the week in review
Yep.
so that people know where we are in the challenge, but we love the midlife core stuff so much that we didn't want to give it up.
Totally. And, you know, we can review as a main section unless something crazy cool happens.
Mm-hmm.
Can, you know, sometimes we just kind of want to get through that. Like even in our old seasons, it was like the weekend review was like the most boring part.
I would say season one is different because
Yeah, yeah.
everything was new.
Right.
And then season two, I was getting hit by a car. And
Yep.
um, so, but I do think you're right. I think the weekend review for us anyway, we're like, let's get through this so that we could talk about songs to
Right.
run to or whatever.
Yep.
Um, so we're gonna now this is all best intentions. We're gonna keep that pretty tight, I would say, the weekend review,
Hmm.
so that we can continue to do the core stuff of midlife. Um, but this is a solid season, man. I think that something we got away from was that there was no finish line to anything we were doing.
Yeah, and that is difficult because that's the, you know, like the eternity problem. Like, have you heard of that? Like,
No.
where, like, you think about heaven, and you're like, wait,
Uh-huh.
it's like forever.
Oh yeah, I get the crayon's dream whenever I think about that.
Yeah, like I
Yep.
used to sit and think about that during college sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and be like, wait, but like, how long is that? Like, and like,
I know. I don't even
yeah,
like to think about it right now.
right, exactly.
So that's how the podcast was starting to feel. Starting to
Like,
make us feel a little queasy.
so you're just gonna keep doing that every week?
So we still are, but I love the fact that there will be finish lines,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, yeah, and dude, I'm sure a billion trillion fold you could lay that onto heaven, which is like you're gonna have cool stuff to do, man.
Of course. And so this is like the Two Gomers podcast will now be like heaven,
Mm-hmm.
eternal,
Yep.
but with fun things to do. And I think for the listener in particular, it's nice to have something to look forward to
Yeah.
and to keep up with us around, right?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
so we have a lot of ideas about what
Mm-hmm.
these challenges will be. We wanted to start with something we knew we could do,
Yep.
but haven't done for a while.
Yep.
And I think the twist of this is we really, again, want to talk about it through the lens of middle age. And we want to utilize this incredible gift that we have, which is our younger selves on tape.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yep.
else has this?
I, I, I mean, there's probably people that have it, but we are so stinking lucky. It's cool.
And I cannot wait because Anthony had this idea to actually integrate this. Is that, the nation, that the Two Gomers podcast comes out every other Friday.
Yep.
On the off weeks, there is no main feed episode. That's where you go to the Patreon. And we hope
Yep.
you do, because that's where we release Patreon episodes on that opposite Friday.
Yep.
This, so that has not changed, but there is an addition, which is on the off weeks, we are going to re release the corresponding season one episode
Mm-hmm.
on the main feed. And so season 13 will be our present selves. And then the next Friday will be our past selves
Doing the same thing
doing this.
17 years ago, 16,
Right.
17 years ago.
Exactly. So actually, we're removing season one from the main feed
Yep.
so that you can keep up with us and listen as we are listening.
Yep.
So our younger selves are going to color our present selves in this challenge. It's going to enrich. My hope is that doing it this way is going to enrich and deepen and even lighten the process
Mm-hmm.
of doing this over again 17 years later.
Well, so we haven't mentioned though part of why this is so significant, and the thing that gave me the epiphany to do this back and forth thing
Mm-hmm.
was, can I say where we're going, what we're doing?
Yeah. So I think the big question for people is what happened to the Grand Canyon?
Okay,
Is
are we
that
gonna
what
talk
you're
about
talking
that
about?
before? No, 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 no. The Phoenix, like the
Oh,
reason.
yes. Got it.
So So the reason that we're doing this is what we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
is we're gonna run the Rock and Roll Phoenix half marathon again,
The
which
same
is
one.
the very thing that started the Two Gomers.
Yes.
T Graham,
Yep.
Two Gomers run a half marathon. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, dude, so we're gonna do the exact same race. Is it 17 years later?
It's 17 years later.
Wow. So we're gonna do the exact same thing 17 years later, and we're gonna track along with our old selves.
Mm-hmm. And then
I'm super pumped
the
about
finish
that.
line that we're talking about is the same exact finish line.
Right, right.
We're gonna be in corrals. We're
Yep,
gonna eat bananas.
yep.
I am really excited to re-listen to because I've listened to the first episode we've ever done a lot, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun to listen to. But there are some titles of these episodes where I'm like, what's his name? Randy Savage,
Oh yeah,
like left
Macho
us
Man.
a Christmas message.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get to this stuff.
yeah,
We
dude.
talk all about cotton. We talk all about all these other
Yep,
things. Your mom buying us shoes. I
yep.
cannot wait to listen to all this stuff and then understand it how much we've grown.
Hmm.
I think what we're gonna discover is that a lot has changed and a lot has stayed the same, and I can't wait.
Mm. Dude, you know what I just thought of?
Yep.
Because my mom was just here. Okay, so my
Mm-hmm.
mom is 24 years older than me. She had me when she was 24.
Okay.
So if she bought those shoes for us 17 years ago, that means that she's only seven. Wait, four.
Years old. Wait a minute.
She was seven. No,
7
that
years
means
older than we are now.
yeah. So when she bought us those shoes, she was only 7 years older than we are right now.
Yeah, this is like messing with me.
Like that's so weird.
Yes, we have been doing this for a long time. I mean, one of the other things that happened while we were gone is Noah graduated college. He's going to DC for his master's degree.
Mm,
He was
unreal.
4, I think,
Mm,
when we
yep,
started this.
you're right.
So it's going to be really fun to hear stuff like that. This is going to be pre-kids Anthony. We're going to be hearing a
Pre
very different man.
Yeah, there's no frog to-do list. There's almost no organization, and somehow I'm thriving professionally
Oh
in
yeah,
the
and living
midst of
your
all
best
that.
life.
Erin and I talk about that regularly. I'm like, was that the best time of our lives? And she's like, no.
Well,
She's
that's a
like,
good call from her.
she's like, you just think that because you're thinking backwards, but no, it wasn't.
I did this practice during the sabbatical, which was like remembering everything I could. It's part of
Hmm.
this Ignatian exercises I'm doing. One of the things is like write down everything you can remember from your whole life, and you start from when you were little
Is this
and
physically writing or typing or
writing.
wow?
And you know what I realized? I would not go back.
Hmm.
My life wasn't amazing, more
Hmm.
amazing than it is right now ever. Like I love being in the present. My past
That's
is great,
incredible.
but man, I think we're gonna realize that in season 1. We're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I was like that, and I'm so
Hmm.
glad I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. That honestly, that sounds more significant than just tracking along with our old selves, but
Yeah.
it's seeing that gap
Yep.
and then finding the cool things about what we used to be, but being like, dang, am I glad I'm not that
Yes.
anymore?
Yep. So we are going to be re-engaging in running.
Hmm.
We're going to be training for a race again. We in the link in our bio, and I'm going to put this in the show notes also. We have our training plan
Hmm.
that people can do with us or follow along with us.
Hmm.
Um, it's going to be really great. So that is season 13. Two Gomers run a half marathon. Shoot. Do you
What?
have the jingle anywhere?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I have it on my computer somewhere.
The problem is I have your guitar. You sold me
We
your
are
guitar.
two
So you
Gomers. That
can't
one.
re-record it.
No, no, no. I
We should
of course I have that.
we should put the jingle back in.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay, great. And maybe I can try to re-record it or something.
That'd be
Um,
fun.
because Anthony sold me his guitar. That's what I'm saying, everyone. So he
Right.
can't actually, I don't think you've got an acoustic in your house, do you?
I have an old acoustic that like my very first one
Okay.
that was at my dad's house and is like split down the middle, but it still works.
Maybe you can re-record. That would be fun. But at the very least, we'll re-add the jingle.
Sweet. Love it.
In our in our weekend review sections.
I love it.
Um, okay, let's just talk briefly because I think people are probably wondering what happened to the Grand Canyon. Just
Mm.
briefly,
Yep.
we were thinking about this as our grand reopening. We're gonna do rim to rim, right?
Yep. Right.
But the thing with the Grand Canyon is that the timing of it is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
You can only do it in certain times of year,
Yep.
or else you'll burn to death,
Right.
or it's just closed because of snow.
Yep.
And so the only chance we had was this coming fall. And Anthony was out visiting and we were like, we're not ready for this yet.
Right.
On our 25th anniversary, Jessica and I walked down 3 miles down the South Rim and back up. And I was
Yep.
like, I couldn't do this in the fall. I need more
Mhm.
training.
Yep.
So that is coming, nation. We will let you know about when. But the other thing is we just haven't done a challenge together for so long. We needed to do something familiar, I think.
Yep. We had this this Hail Mary idea to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
2 Gomer, like come back from sabbatical. It's 2 Gomers hike rim to rim.
Yes.
Like I mean, it had so much panache.
Oh,
You don't.
can you imagine? Yes, and we're sorry that that's not happening, nation.
Yep.
But we're trying to. I mean, that challenge is. We've been talking about this, similar to
Yep.
the triathlon, where it's dangerous.
Yep.
If you're not trained up well.
Yep.
And so we just weren't ready to pull the trigger on it. We will be, just not this season. We're also thinking about 2 Gomers getting a colonoscopy.
Well, yeah, that'll be just an offshoot. I can't imagine that being more than 1 or 2 episodes, but
Oh, you don't want to do it for 28 weeks?
28 weeks till the drink of that weird stuff.
That weird drink. And we're going all out. We're doing the drink. We're getting it, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we are going to we can't do it without recording it on the podcast.
Of course not. Field recordings.
Right.
We'll probably need our wives to report in.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll have to take us to the hospital or whatever, wherever you do it.
Oh, I can't wait. And I hope you are looking forward to it as well, nation. So, in short, season 13, 2 Gomers run a half marathon. Alternating episodes between the present and the past,
Mm-hmm.
so that can define our middle-age stuff. The core remains, and we are looking forward to reintegrating season-long challenges moving forward.
Love it.
All right, dude. Let's close this up with some What's Giving Us Life this week.
All right, sounds great. All right, let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
Great. Here we are in What's Giving Us Life this week. It remains.
Mm-hmm.
We loved it too much, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And it's just such a positive way to end each episode. So, Anthony, what's giving you life this week?
All right, dude. I was going to talk a little bit about our summer plans, but
Okay.
we have gone a little long, and I don't want to go too long here. So I'm going to punt it to something else.
Okay.
Okay, dude. Maybe 2 months ago, I don't know,
Okay.
3 months ago, we're just scrolling the YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Because like for us, me and the girls and Aaron, we like to watch making of stuff. We like to watch Binging with Babish.
Yeah. Yep.
Cooking stuff.
Mhm.
And somebody that we've known of but have never really religiously watched is
Yes.
Bob Ross.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Yep, I don't know what it was. Me and the girls, we just started watching this Bob Ross,
Yeah.
and we're like just so taken in.
Uh-huh.
And then he does our absolute favorite part, which is he cleans that paintbrush. And we started
Yeah.
laughing like so friggin' loud. Like,
You mean
what?
when he goes slap, 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 slap,
Yeah,
slap,
yeah.
slap,
He's
slap?
like, just
Yeah.
slap the devil out of it, right?
Slap the devil out of that. Yep.
Yep.
Oh my
And so
gosh, I
like,
love it.
dude, now like, so so you said when your boys were younger, you had like quiet television or relaxed,
Yes, yep.
what was it?
So sometimes it was about, I mean, we got into Bob Ross about the same time when they were about the same ages.
Mm,
And we like, if we would all have a stressful day, we would just watch an app before
mm,
bed.
that's so
That
great.
or Great Baking British, Great British Bake Off,
Okay.
um, where we just needed something calm and
Yep.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what I love about this. Bob Ross is like trendy. You know what I mean?
He is
There are
trendy.
t-shirts with Bob Ross on it. What
Yep.
you're talking about is watching episodes.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that many people do that. I think they think Bob Ross is funny
Yeah.
and ironic.
Right.
No irony for me. I
Mm-mm.
earnestly, sincerely love Bob Ross.
Totally, dude. Like, uh, it's just he's just there's something about that voice.
Yep.
There's something about how in 30 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
22 minutes or 20, whatever it is,
Yeah.
he goes from that white canvas with
Mm.
titanium white,
Mm.
right? And he's like, so it's liquid painting. It's not,
Yes.
he's like, so it's faster. And we're like, how did he make those clouds? He's like, all right, the happy accident idea. He's like, well,
Mm-hmm. There
we've
is
got,
so much.
oh yeah,
We could do episodes on
totally.
happy accidents.
Yep.
Right? Slap the devil out of it.
Yeah.
Everything he says, I'm like, these should just be core Gomer episodes.
Totally, dude. Like, we're gonna put them out in here. We put it wherever we want.
Yep.
You like take a bold step, but if it make a mistake, it's okay. There's no mistakes here.
Yeah.
It's happy accidents. Um,
Such a cool dude.
yep.
Love it.
And so we found on YouTube it's every single time he cleans his paintbrush from episode
I
one
see. It's
till
like
the
a
end.
super cut of slapping
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah. Because
That's
like
good. I gotta watch that.
I'll find it and send it to you because the that was we were so drawn in, and then
Hmm.
when he did that, he looks at the camera and he laughs, right? Or
Oh,
he'll be
he's
like,
having a ball, bro.
he's like, I just got all the cameramen wet, or like, don't do this in your living room. Like
Yeah.
he has all these little things,
And his
and
pet squirrels, have they ever showed up in the
yep,
episodes you've
oh
watched? I
yeah,
love his little pet squirrels.
yep.
Ooh,
I mean,
wow.
we went down this rabbit hole of
Squirrel
there's a
hole.
great New York Times
Mm-hmm.
um, little short documentary about where are all the Bob Ross paintings.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Man,
so
what if we
like
owned one?
supposedly there are like 30,000,
No way.
and so
I
like this
guess
New
so.
York
He repainted so many.
well, yeah,
It
because he
makes
would paint
sense.
3 per show,
Yep.
and so he would have like the demo, the one on
Mm-hmm.
camera, and then the practice one or something like that.
Right. Yep.
Uh, so this guy wanted to buy one for one of his, like for his brother.
Okay.
He's like, it's going to be in the tens of thousands,
Mm-hmm.
but and there were nowhere to be found, and so he tracked him down all the
Wow.
way to this warehouse where they're all in boxes. They're just all there.
Let's go raid this warehouse.
Well, yeah. So like they have like I don't even think that it's like Bob Ross Incorporated or whatever. I mean, there's a really sad negative documentary also
Mm.
about all of this that was actually super sad. Uh, but just kind of like anyway, so that was kind of a bummer. But basically, they haven't sold them. The
Yeah.
Smithsonian came and they donated like I think 10 to do like a he's like his I think he even says it. He's like my artwork will never be in a museum,
Yeah. Yep.
and
I think that's
now it
something he
is.
says. Yeah. Wow.
So it's
Amazing.
just it's been super fun, super
Yep.
relaxing, super inspiring,
Yeah.
and also we laugh heartily multiple
Oh
times per
man.
episode.
Definitely.
And little kids are drawn into it, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That he's it's a Fred Rogers type thing where
Mm-hmm.
he brings peace and calm
Yes.
into kids' lives, into my life that I
Yeah.
long for, and it
Yeah.
just is. It's like a switch is flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I love Bob Ross.
Yep.
Love it, bro.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I'm torn between two things that are giving me life. You do this all the time. I was going to talk about
Yep.
Jessica and I's 25th anniversary. We did a Name That 2000s tune game,
Mm,
um, where we just played a tiny bit of a song and people knew it immediately, artist and
yep.
song.
Yep.
Anything that came out in 2000. And I was like, at first I was like, all these songs suck. And so then my mind was changed. And so I was going to talk about how I like Creed again, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to talk about Life of Chuck.
Okay.
If by any chance Life of Chuck is still playing in the theaters when you are listening to this nation, I encourage you to go see Life of Chuck. Is it The
Okay.
Life of Chuck? It is The Life of Chuck. It's not a big summer blockbuster, but speaking of earnest and sincere, it is this beautiful little movie from one of my favorite Stephen King short stories that's buried in, I think it's If It Bleeds, his one of his short story collections. I remember being incredibly moved when I read it.
Hmm.
I did not know how they were going to make this movie, and it's magical. It's amazing.
Mm,
Um,
awesome.
everyone in it is good, from Loki, Tom Hiddleston to Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill is incredible in it.
Wow.
Um, to the guy that played Shaggy in the Scooby Doo movies. I can't remember his name right now. Matthew
Okay.
Lillard. He's incredible in it. It
Hmm.
is unconventional. I understand why people might not like it because it's not told in a traditional way. That
Okay.
is exactly why I like it. It's very strange. It's very wonderful. The Life of Chuck. People should go see it.
Awesome. We had it on our me and Aaron when my mom was here. We
Okay.
almost went one night and it just didn't work out. Um, question
I
should
don't think your mom would like it.
no, no, no. We were me and Aaron
Okay.
were gonna go,
Yeah.
and my
Okay.
mom was gonna watch the kiddos.
Yeah.
Um, would should somebody read the short story
It
first?
is the I will just say the reason why it's so good is it is the short story exactly.
Oh, okay.
I
So
mean,
read it
there's
or no?
even it's not Steven, it's Nick Offerman who's is the narrator.
Hmm.
He is reading the story.
Okay.
It's incredible. It's word for word. So
Wow.
I actually don't know the answer. Um, it worked for me because I read the story years ago. I think maybe even during the pandemic. And
Okay.
so I rediscovered it in the movie.
Mm,
I think just see the movie.
okay.
It is just so you know, it is unconventionally told, and so it takes a while to lock in.
Okay.
This is not a spoiler. It's told backwards.
Okay.
It's old, middle age, young
Sweet.
of the life of Chuck, but the way it starts is completely out of left field.
Okay.
So, so I
Awesome.
loved it. I thought it was beautiful. It was a transcendent experience for me, both the story and the movie. So if it's still in the theaters, go see it. There's a lot to see right now, but Life of Chuck is a hidden gem.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah. All right. We want to hear from you, Nation, about what you think about all of this. What do you think about the new season? What do you think about us reintegrating challenges into the podcast? What do you think about what has been going on in your life for the past 6 months? We want to hear. The best way to get in contact with us or to follow us is on Instagram, but we are Two Gomers on all the socials. And the link tree in our Instagram bio is a portal to anything Gomer stuff, a portal further into the Gomerverse. Um, so find us there. You can call us on the Gomer phone. That number is
608-622-7669. That's 608 NAB Pony.
please take a moment and rate, review, and subscribe or follow us on all the podcast apps. Big thanks to Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics. Huge thanks to Adam, our webmaster, who helped us
Huge.
so much with relaunching into season 13. Thank you to Lindsay, our social media maestro. And thanks especially to our Gomertrons who subscribe to our second podcast, The Bonus Disc, on Patreon, oft mentioned in this episode. It's not only home to our monthly movie show, Perfect Movie, where we're covering Superman 1978 this July
Mm.
and reviewing the new Superman this month, but extra episodes, drafts, brackets, field recordings, food battles, up to 4 episodes per month, and video, depending on the level at which you subscribe. An embarrassment of riches, all that you can find at patreon.com/twogomers. We welcome your support and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. All right,
Thank
bro.
you for joining us again, everybody. It's so good to be back.
Yep. We're getting under an hour and a half here. That was our goal.
Yes, totally.
once we officially relaunch, well, this is the official relaunch, but you know what we mean.
Yep.
When we start basically episode 1 of our challenges.
Yep.
We're going to try to tighten. We'll see
Yep.
if that works.
Yep. Wait, didn't we call this episode 1? Shoot, I said that at the top.
No, I'm just confused.
Okay.
Another thing that remains
Yep.
is that we're like, what episode is this? I'm sure that'll get a lot better once we start also putting in season 1 episodes.
That won't be confusing at all.
So just so you know, the episode that's releasing next week is going to be the season. It's going to be episode 0 and episode 1 of season 1.
Mm.
So make sure you listen to that because we're going to be referring to it as we start our training the following
Awesome.
week.
I personally can't wait to listen again.
Me neither. It's going to be so awesome.
Mm.
Our voices are higher, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
like,
No.
hey, I'm
Yeah.
Steven.
Hey, dude. With that little dot. We're going to refer to the dot a lot. The microphone.
The dot is the dot in the microphone dot in our laptops that we were recording into. Trust us, nation. You are going to be able to tell the difference between season 1 and season 13. All right, dude. Great app.
Super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can remember, the work is good. We need limits. Speed limits are good. We can wear shorts this summer. You should go, if we can go see The Life of Chuck. Bob Ross, slap the devil out of it. Post-it notes rule. Open those windows. Read the checklist manifesto. You can too.
And happy running.
Nice, dude.
Awesome.
All right, let's clap.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Sweet.
All right. Under an hour and a half. We did it.
For sure. All right, let's
People
stop that.
will be happy to see an hour and a half app, I think.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's stop
All right.
this one.
Bye,
2,
everybody.
3, stop. Oh, yeah, bye. Sorry.
See ya.